Welcome back to the Caribou Data Science Channel. It's time for the daily random state selection and COVID-19 analysis, where we randomly select a U.S. state and do some COVID-19 analysis on it. What we're looking for is New York Times COVID-19 data. Let's make sure there's nothing else up here like it. New York Times data. I'm going to do I'm just going to zip it. I'm just going to pull down a zip, which is the easiest way to go. You could also use this GitHub. If you have GitHub installed, I would certainly suggest you simply do a daily pull on the New York Times data. But just for simplicity's sake, I'm actually going to use this zip file. This is so you understand how it can be done. This, do an extract. And what I'd normally install, put this into a separate data directory. For this purpose of this demonstration, I'm actually going to keep it in the project directory, which makes it a little easier. It does help a little bit. You should see right here. You have 3 files. Good. Okay, now let's go and select the random state, which we're going to work with tonight. And the state for tonight is North Carolina. Okay. So let's come back over here, random states, open up the U.S. state column. This. I'm not sure what that's good for, so let's just get rid of that. Then let's come over here, do an auto filter, look for North Carolina. Over here. Come down to here, do a copy, put that back over here. And as I've said before, there is a way I should be able to extract the daily numbers, either using something like lag or diff, but I haven't got those to work. So again, the other point is to make is all that matters is results. As long as we get the daily numbers that work with it, doesn't matter what we do to get there. That includes, using Excel. Daily desk. Okay. I'm going to put a 0 up here just so we don't wind up with the now all we have to do is come all the way down here, 170 or so columns. But if you know how to use, say, diff or lag with base R only, no tidyverse basic, then by all means you put a link or the code in the comments below. So there's our cases. Drag it over here, and now we got our deaths. We're better off just on this. Council. Now if we save this, it should just save the active sheet. Yeah. Warning, saving this document, North Carolina. Only the active sheet was saved, which is what we want because this is the North Carolina code. Okay. So now we got our code. Now we got our data and our daily totals. Open up this. Let's come back over here and open up the random state code. And as always, I probably will be borrowing some code from the other examples, which is perfectly acceptable. Again, it's like cut and paste your heart's content. If that's what it takes to get you from A to Z, do it. And why go back and retype the same code over and over again? Let's do this. Let's give it this. I could, of course, just do a complete copy and paste, but that's a little bit too much. That's way too much. Okay. As always, let's get rid of this. Change this up here. Just a little larger figure, plots. Let's do an insert. North Carolina. Let's run this. Run this. Then we're surely going to need to change date. Let's just do this to get the initial thing. Okay. You want to change date? Date, comma, equals dash month dash day. Let's just run that again. So now we got our date format. So let's just, as we like to do, let's just, first of all, let's just do a plot of the cumulative totals. So this is the total number of cases or deaths from January, whenever the first, well, let's take a look here. So the cases and deaths are the cumulative total cases from March 3rd up until August 22nd. So each one of these is a total of all the previous things here, and these are the cases. Of course, we do this. You can see we got cases there. Let's do this. Okay. Repetition is the mother of all learning, right? So here we go. I've got a cumulus spelled over here. Okay. Cases. Both. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's see how this looks. First of all, one more thing. Let's do a sort. Let's do this. See how that changes everything up here. That just makes sure that that's interesting, isn't it? Okay, so now we got them sorted by date. Now let's do our plots. Both doesn't really make a lot of sense. Let's try histogram. See what that looks like. That's okay, I guess. So those are cumulative cases. One is deaths. Of course, it always climbs. You know what let's do next? Rather than doing individual plots for the okay. Let's go ahead and calculate. Let's go ahead and use the code for the You know what? My experience is 25% seems to work the best. So let's come back down in here. Like I said, the only thing that matters is, the first thing is, if you look at what I'm plotting, these are basic XY plots, basic bar plots. So there's no real purpose in completely bringing them back again. Change. Date. 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 Okay. So let's just see if this works. Uh-oh. Let's see if this, oh, I should have coupled this right there. Like I said, whenever you see X and Y are different, links differ, that's normally a spelling problem. So let's try this again now. Okay. So what do you think? I still like the 25%. All right. But now let's take this whole thing. A second time. Put this down there. Spell. Let me do this. Once again, there's the 25. That's pretty. That last one's kind of strange. So let's just see what we got so far for North Carolina. Cumulative totals. Well, let's come back up here. Okay. Cumulative deaths, cumulative cases continue to climb as expected. See plots of daily new cases and new deaths. Let's make these headings a little bit smaller. Default isn't bad for this, actually. Now we're seeing, as usual, I think the 0.25 is probably a little better. Because here, it does appear to be saying it's going back up. Well, this is down, and this is down. Deaths. Let's just see if we can. Let's see if we can pretty this up a little bit by finding some. By finding some Not there. Smooth. I'll come back to that in just a minute. Okay, now here's our aggregate totals. This is, that's not it. What I'm looking for is legends. Okay. And I'm actually, let's see something here. This is a demonstration here. Let's see. Right? So let's just see how this works now. Okay, very good. So now let's take this. Just to make it a little bit prettier. And one more plot. Let's come back up here then also and do the same thing, just to just once again to pretty it up a little bit. See, once again, it's just a, you know, the finishing touches are just a matter of cutting and pasting. So let's run this again and see if this will knit up for us here. Okay. Once again, human cases, human deaths, daily COVID-19 cases. This is the default automatic setting. Here you can see it's shown at the daily cases does appear to be falling. Although this one here, the 0.25, seems to be saying it's actually leveled out a little bit, maybe. Cases may in fact be in for an increase. 50 again, down. So what you go take? You go say, well, gee, they're declining, or are they increasing? Okay. In the 0.50 cases, again, it's showing a decline. Hopefully, these are the better ones, the ones with it actually is declining and not increasing. Now we come over to deaths, default again, pretty straight line up, nothing but declines. A little better, levels off, trails down a little bit, but even though the spike is above 40, maybe what I need to use is a moving average. Deaths, 0.50. This one's kind of strange. I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. Okay, so that's helpful. Let's look at has to be a space on each side. So rather than going through all the rigmarole of doing this, let's just come back over here again. And just cut and paste the whole thing. I'm sure there's some purists out there who are going to say, you can't do that. It's not real code. Well, okay. Change this to date. Change that to date. Let's try this. Again, this does not to beat a drum, but everything you see here is included with your basic. Everything I can do here, you can do with your basic installation of R. You don't even need Rstudio. You could do it. You could edit it. You can use an editor to write the script, and use either R or the R script function to run the script from the command line. It doesn't make any difference, but that is something like this. Okay, this one. What about this? What about this? Okay, here we go. Now we got the weekly cases. This is a little bit more telling. Good news is for cases 1, 2, 5 weeks of decline, a small decline. This is Sunday, so this has been a small decline for last week. Because it's okay, yeah. So this is the weekly case totals as of August 22nd, 2020. And this is the weekly death totals as of 2020. Now, one way here where ggplot would help would be it'll allow you to better format the X and Y labels. Okay, but this is fine. So somewhere down here, 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe, 4 weeks so far. So this is August, 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the month of August, it declined from back over here, but then the number of deaths has declined the last 3 weeks in North Carolina. Cases, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see it spiked here. Then decline, and back up here for last week. So the cases here are looking okay. I mean, you obviously prefer 10,000 new cases a week is a lot of cases, but deaths is doing okay. All right. Let's come back down here. Calculate the monthly totals, do a quick plot. So we can see there's a pretty good chance that August may not have as many cases as July. Deaths, it's unfortunately deaths, it's already surpassed July in terms of deaths for the month. Let's see. What else can we do? To a certain extent, it tells us quite a bit already. You know, I'm going to get rid of that one there rather than trying to fix it. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not sure exactly what is going on with that. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I prefer even the lesser ones, actually, to 0.25 myself. I suppose it depends on the points you're trying to make. Okay, back at the top one more time. Cumulative cases, default setting, which is what, 0.75? 0.50? This generally tells a story. Even though there's a spike here, this actually indicates that this spike is lower than these two spikes. So maybe the default is a good match. 0.25, well, that'll increase upwards. .50 shows it's a straight decline, so pick your poison, I guess. Deaths are a little different. The default, the 0.25. These two are a little less than this one here. So it levels off and it comes down, 0.25. 0.5 just shows straight up with no decrease in deaths. Weekly, monthly cases again. Good news, it's been declining for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, even though last week is up a little bit. Deaths, you can see a little bit of decline, but still it's pretty high. Monthly cases, I don't know. It could pass the cases for July. Let's see. Deaths already surpassed that. So, what's the summary? Well, I'm saying it's too soon to tell, but I guess it's a mixed bag. Cases seems to be trending down, while deaths seem to be increasing at a higher rate. Without actually knowing the you know what? Let's just do a Let's just do a let's do what we want to do is see something here. So what we want to do here is, where are we? Divide weekly deaths by weekly cases, daily cases. Okay. So let's come down here now. Let's do a let's just do this right here then. What's going on? Oh, I don't know. Okay, let's just comment this out. I'll come back to it later on also. My guess is I really don't know. Weekly. Death rate cases. Okay, so here's the weekly death rate. So that's good enough. That's a wrap. Okay, so we can see the conclusion here again is obviously at one point the death rate, the weekly rate, is down below 1%. It's now creeping up towards 2%, but it's down a little bit from last week. So I don't know. I don't think 2% death rate is really that bad. I mean, obviously this is a very rough estimate, so don't hold me to it. But you know what? I think I'm going to call it a done deal. Hope this has been helpful to you and inspirational. This just shows how easy it is to go out and create, good quality work with a minimum line of code. What do we got? 170 some lines of code, under 200 lines of code. All you have to do is just basic R coding and R plots. One more run. There's the death rates, deaths, cases. I don't have any deaths. I don't have any cases. Weekly. Okay, that's all right. So forth and so forth. So anyway, thanks for stopping by this evening, and take some of your time out for your day to follow along this R journey with me, so to speak. As we said, seems to be the typical mixed bag if you look at cases and deaths. I tend to pay more emphasis on deaths, but that's just me. Once again, this is North Carolina Random State Challenge, and thanks so much.